I'm joined here with Jennifer Ann Gordon, and she is an American author. Now, your book, Beautiful, Frightening, and Silent, was selected as the 2020 Kindle Book of the Year in the horror category. So, what was your reaction to this?
Um, so to be honest, the day before was Halloween. It was October 31st, and I got married that day. So that night was obviously my wedding night, and it was great, but I knew they were announcing the winners the next morning. And I had been selected in the top five. So I was like, there might be a chance. There might be. So all night, I just kept like grabbing my cell phone and checking it. Like I'd wake up to use the bathroom, check my phone. Uh, and it was ridiculous. And then I thought, just stop checking it. You're on your weekend away of your honeymoon during a pandemic. Just enjoy that. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to touch my phone. And then a friend of mine, another author, she was also up for a different category, and she'd been checking her phone all night. So I found out from her because she sent me a message that said congratulations, and I was like, what? And honestly, it just felt like winning an Oscar because I couldn't believe that my debut novel won anything, and I won money, which was even crazier.
And getting that recognition and getting other recognition for your books, it must mean a lot to you to see that people are taking notice in what you're writing.
It really, really did, especially because Beautiful, Frightening, and Silent is not a traditional horror novel in any sense of the word. I've had horror reviewers read it and say, this isn't even horror. And I'm like, well, it is, but it's very lyrical, and a lot of it's written in free verse poetry. So it really borders on the edge of like literary and experimental and artistic. So to have people like it and read it, and yeah, the awards they've been really amazing.
You also released your new book titled When the Sleeping Dead Still Talk in November, which is the finale to the Hotel series. So, what can readers of the series expect in this book?
Okay, so my hotel series is a duology. It is two books that consists of From Daylight to Madness and When the Sleeping Dead Still Talk. And those are Victorian-based Gothic horror novels. So you can expect a lot of kind of my contemporary feminist views smushed into a Victorian repressed society. So the novels really center around how the mentally ill were treated in the Victorian era. It centers on two characters, a woman named Isabel, who is sent away because she's not grieving properly after the death of her newborn child, and a priest named Francis. I hate to give too much away about him because he is my center character in When the Sleeping Dead Still Talk. And he was introduced in From Daylight to Madness, but I just want to tell the readers that you don't know what you are getting into.
And you also host a podcast and a YouTube show. So, does that help keep you inspired in your writing? And has it influenced your books at all?
So I don't think it's influenced my books, but it really does inspire my writing, especially my show Vox Vomitus, the podcast, because we talk to authors every week, best-selling authors, about the biggest mistakes they've made, as opposed to all of the things that have made them succeed. So it's been very hilarious and humbling, and it just inhumanizing. So like I see these people, these authors that are like rock stars to me. I admire them. I've read all of their books, like Carol Goodman. I've read like 22 of her books or something. It's ridiculous. And to talk to them just author to author and chatting about mistakes, it's been fun.
And if anyone is looking to get your books or see the podcast or anything else, where should they go?
The easiest place to find everything is if you go to my website, which is jenniferannGordon.com, and that is Ann with an E. You can find the links to all of my books there. Of course, they're on Amazon, but if you would prefer to support your local indie bookstore, you can go to bookshop.org. That would be great because indie bookstores are definitely struggling right now with the pandemic. And my podcast, Vox Vomitus, the place that you can watch it live is on Facebook at Vox Vomitus Podcast. We're also on SoundCloud, iTunes, Anchor, all of the places, Spotify. There's like 1,000 of them. We're also part of the Global Authors on the Air Network, so we are on their homepage as well. Thank you so much for having me. This is my first time on Canadian television. And as somebody who lives in New Hampshire near Canada, I've always had kind of a Canadian fascination from Degrassi Junior High and Anne of Green Gables, and now you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jennifer.